bagira orufumu olwabayise rwitwe oluli very meaningful olwina amakulu ag'amaanyi okugamba ngu amata gatahatwa lwagatahasireho atakagatahatahog tagatahata obwagatahata amata agagata kandi amata obwokumara gata tosobola kwongera okagayoramu.
Oh, the tree planting.
Yeah.
Wow. Good morning, everyone, wherever you are. So today, being a Monday, we usually talk about music. But today, we've come with something different from that we've been having every Monday. So I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with my guests who are also going to introduce themselves to you. Then we proceed with the program. So you can say hi to our viewers.
Hi, viewers.
Wow.
My name is Vincenzo Pasquantonio. I am from the United States, from New Orleans, beautiful city in the south. And I actually live in Italy right now. So it was a very nice flight to Uganda, and I'm very happy to be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So you can also introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Anjani Devi. I am currently living in California in the United States.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. So you've heard their names. They are from United States, California, and
Louisiana.
wow.
Yeah.
So today, these are the people I'm with in the studio. My beautiful and handsome guests. They have something to share with us. So as we move on, what are your careers?
So back in California, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. So I work doing psychotherapy with people who have, I do two different things. I work for a big healthcare organization, and through that healthcare organization, I work with people with chronic pain conditions. Sometimes stress and anxiety can cause more physical pain, so I help people to manage. And then I have a private practice where I work with individuals and couples, people suffering from maybe addiction or marriage problems or anxiety and depression. And that's what I do.
Wow, you do a lot of things, and that's nice.
I'm currently a student in legal studies, human rights, specializing in human rights at the University of London. And for my job, for my career, I also work for a museum that's based in my home state of Louisiana. And the mission of the museum is to focus on the experience of those who were enslaved in Louisiana and memorialize their experience. And so it's called the Whitney Plantation. And I also do that and this human rights program.
That's nice. Do you have families?
I have my father. He is 76 years old and looks like a 50-year-old, you know, running all over the place. And I have my sister and two brothers.
Okay. So are you married?
No, you know, in the U.S. we actually marry pretty late. We tend to wait, so I'm not yet married. But you know, if you know somebody, just let me know. I'm always, hey, everybody, single and ready to mingle. You know.
So I have my family is a little history is a little complicated, but I have a family that I was raised with as I was adopted as an infant into a family, but then I found my biological family. So I have part of my family that I grew up with, and then my biological family, and then I have a spouse, and I have two young daughters that are 13 and 15.
Wow, that's
and my daughter just got her driver's permit, so we're not going to talk about driving. But I have 6 sisters and 3 brothers, and
Okay, that's nice then. So for how long have you been in Uganda?
So we've been in Uganda. We started in Rwanda, and part of our coming here, it was very important for us to just not travel as tourists. We wanted to really understand a lot of what was going on here. So we flew into Rwanda and spent a few days there, going to the museums, understanding the history. And then we drove into Uganda, and we'll be here a total of 11 days. Traveling and doing things. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is my second visit to Uganda.
Oh, your second visit? I thought that is first.
This is my brother's first visit.
My first time.
I was here 17 years ago.
So for you have experience.
Yes.
And for him, it's just
Yes.
getting the experience.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Okay, that's good then. So of all those places you've gone to, what have you seen that has really attracted you, that can attract you to come back to Uganda? That because of this thing, I'm going to come back to Uganda.
That's a really good question. That's a great question. I think for me, I've been fortunate to travel the world and to see different things. But what really feels different about Uganda is that the people are just really lovely and gentle and kind, but strong also. So people are very strong and very capable, but also they're very warm hearts. And the land and the earth here is just so rich and so beautiful, and it's something very special about being here.
Wow. So for you being the first time?
Well, we have a saying in the U.S. which means which says you took the words right out of my mouth when somebody says something that you were thinking too. So I was going to say, I mean, for me, it's the people, definitely, hands down. When the nature is beautiful, it's actually spectacular. But what makes me want to come back, which is your question, is certainly to visit some of the people that we've met, that we've connected with, that we've made friends with. You can't just make friends and then never see them again, you know? So that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
Okay, that's nice.
And then if I may just add, that's for Bushman. I met him 17 years ago when I was here with my husband traveling. And we stayed in touch. And now, since then, he has a family now, and we came back and we spent time with them. And that was really, those are things you can't pay for. You can sign up for a tour, and you can go on a safari, but you can't really pay for the connection that you have with people, that you have that heart connection.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, that's nice then. So, before you came to Uganda, since him being the first time and for you it's the second time, what really attracted you to say that, let me go to Uganda? Which people attracted you to say that, let me also go to Uganda? Because you had never been here before. That means there is something which pushed you.
Yes.
To come here.
Yeah. I'll say that when I came here last time, we had gone on safari in Kenya, and we spent 10 days there. And then we came and we crossed to do the mountain gorillas for 3 days. And I remember feeling like, we drove from Entebbe to Kisaro. It was a long drive. And I remember thinking, I want to come back and see more than just the mountain. Always felt like there was more that I'd missed. And then I stayed close with Ken all these years, Bushman all these years. So I felt like there was something that I was missing. Like I wanted to, like the place was like, you missed something. You didn't see everything.
Yeah.
And when I thought about coming back, I just remember the people and the land and the richness of this.
Oh, okay.
Well, for me, I want to go everywhere in the world. So that's the problem, you know, because, and I think I will, maybe if I'm blessed and lucky enough. But I actually had a friend 20 years ago who came to Uganda, and she told me all about it and how wonderful it was. And you know, when I was younger, I didn't know about different places in the world. And so when she told me about it, it just stuck in my mind. She came, she visited Kampala, she visited a lot of the places we visited as well, and described the beauty and the people and how wonderful people here are. So that planted a seed in my mind that grew into really wanting to come here. So it was top of my list.
Yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed.
I'm sad to leave, you know. I am very sad to leave.
So you can stay.
Yes, I can change my name, and we'll just forget about work and just come here.
I think if I may say, one of the things that we had the opportunity to come this time and to visit some villages outside of the city, and to also do some things to not just come and look and see, but to also contribute as well. And that was, for me, that was very, very important for me to come, not just as a Mzungu traveler, but to really contribute also. I think we both felt that way. We wanted to be aware of what the culture and the history, and to be, mindful travelers. And it's always hard to travel sometimes, to not, because we have a different culture. So it's sometimes challenging to say, I have to be a better person when I travel, and to be more mindful of everything. But I also was very conscientious that I wanted to contribute. So we were able to contribute some things and bring them in to share some of those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you been taken to game parks?
Yes.
Aren't you fearing those animals? Eh.
Did you fear the animals?
Well, I would never say I'm afraid of anything. But what I will say is that there was a moment with the elephants where we're driving and then the baby elephant crosses, but the mother elephant did not cross. And the car ended up between the baby elephant and the mother elephant. And then another elephant in front of us. I thought, oh no, making noise. And they looked at us very angry because the mother's like, hey, get out of my way, there's my baby. And then the other elephant in front was like, what's going on? Is this car bothering you? You know?
So didn't you?
I had a moment where I was like, okay. Well, you know, if something happens, at least it happened in a beautiful place. You know? But no, I haven't really felt afraid. It more overwhelmed, and it's just so beautiful. You don't have time to be afraid. You're just like, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing all of these things, you know?
He was only afraid when I was driving. That was it. Just
When you are driving.
The animals know. The animals know. The driving sometimes, but that's me. You're a very good driver, actually. Thank God, because I'm not.
Okay. So what are the challenges you faced in those places where you've gone in game parks and some other good places?
Well, I did the mountain gorilla trekking, and my brother did that waterfall. And for me, it made me realize, like, when I came all those years ago, we didn't have to hike so far, and this time we had to hike like 4 hours through the bush, and it was very hard, but I realized, like, you can't see something so beautiful if you don't work so hard to get there. So I mean, it was like I left with like a souvenir on my knee bleeding and my bruise, but I thought this is a souvenir. Like, this is like, you know, you have to work hard in life to get something so beautiful. So I got to see the gorillas, but it was like 5 or 6 hours of hiking the whole day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But for you, don't you get tired?
You know, I got tired, and about halfway through, I'm like, maybe I'm done, and I'm like, but how? There's nowhere to go, so I have to keep going. So yeah, I did get tired, but you know, as a psychotherapist, I know that the mind is so powerful, right? So I had to just, I took a minute to regroup myself, and just keep going. There's no choice.
That's nice.
When there's hardships in life, you have to keep going.
Wow,
I think the thing for me with traveling is that I learn that two things always stand out when I go home and I reflect. I think that one, that I'm stronger than I realized I was, and that two, how fortunate I am, and to really be more grateful for that when I go home, that I'm able to see incredible things.
Wow, that's nice. So how do you see our weather compared to yours in California?
I absolutely love your weather. I think it's perfect all of the time. I never want to experience any cold. I never want to experience snow. I'm not interested in snow. So for me, it's just perfect. I cannot say enough good things about the weather.
We should say a little bit about the weather and where you come from.
Yes, so I'm from a city in, you know, the United States is just so huge. It's thousands and thousands of kilometers, you know, from one side to the other. My city is a subtropical city. We have banana trees, we have palm trees. And then when I moved to Europe for school, it's cold. More cold than I'm used to. So when I came here, I felt like I was at home, but it was even better because the weather is a little bit warmer and it stays warmer consistently. So I was very, very happy.
Okay, understand.
Yes.
So if like they give you a chance of staying here, you both.
I'm ready. Get me my Ugandan passport. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I'm happy for you guys to be in Uganda. Uganda is a very, very nice country.
It really is, yes.
Very nice, so sweet, with good things.
Yeah.
Hope you really enjoy.
The food is very good too, I have to say. The ground nut, you know, sauce and oh my gosh.
So for you, used to those other foods, fruits, vegetables.
So in my family, my father's side of the family is Cuban American, and so in the Caribbean we eat a lot of similar food, but in California and other places the climate is so different, we don't grow those foods. So for me in Uganda, they have like the matoke, the green banana, and the cassava we call yuca, and the fruits is, I was crying the other day because I was like, oh, this reminds me of my grandmother and of being home, and so it made me feel like I was back with my my family, eating my food, because again, as my brother said, that Uganda is so, United States is so big, and the climate is so different depending on where you go.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't get these wonderful food.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah. So actually, how do you benefit in those travels, those travel tours, coming to Uganda, going back? Isn't it too expensive for you?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate this time because Bushman is like family, and he has the Bush Memory Safari, so he does that, and so he's been just as a friend traveling with us. But sometimes it is cost prohibitive for some people because it is so far to get here with the airline, and then the tours are cost prohibitive at times. But if you save your money and you come, then it's equivalent. Like we've been noticing, like things are kind of the same, like yeah.
Okay. So like atwanze tugende umurango abakama baitu, then we come back.
Conductor Masao.
Owai, obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange, anti yo TV enkolera.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kw'otadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya UTV channels ku ssimu.
Chinyumira. Whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyambisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy you with your TV channels on my phone.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kw'otadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya UTV channels ku ssimu yo.
Hello viewers, I'm TRINAH, your host of Free Talk program eyebayo from Monday to Friday kutandika saha 4 mpaka saa 5 nekitweka. Thank you so much. Stay entertained.
Fort TV, stay entertained. Fort TV, stay entertained.
Okay, so welcome back from our commercial break.
Yes.
Stay entertained.
Stay entertained. Stay entertained. Always.
Don't mind about this.
We're having a great time.
Yeah, this is a really great time.
And that's part of what's been great about being here, actually, is that we're just mostly having a great time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
So, what would you like to tell people about the things you've seen, how you've enjoyed, the animals? You can
My
share
gosh,
anything.
I mean, it's just such a, everybody should come here. Everybody should come to Africa, everybody should come to Uganda, meet the people, see the animals, enjoy the beautiful weather. I think today we're also going to drive all the way to Kampala and then to the lake, Lake Victoria, and enjoy that as well. You know, Africa's biggest lake. I can't wait to see it. You know, growing up, I would look at the maps in my school and I see this picture of a lake in the middle of Africa and I'm like, where is that? Never thinking I could ever see these places in person. And so everybody should come here. Yes, absolutely.
So, Daisy?
So I think that I would also say for the people that even live here to come and see more of your own country. I know I live in California and I live near a lot of tourists come to see like the Golden Gate Bridge, and they come to see different, and sometimes as local people we don't really go and see too much, right? We just kind of like, we're like, okay, we live here, I don't see, and there's so much to see. So I would say for the people that are from Uganda, if you have time to go and see more of your own country, it's so beautiful. Even the other morning we went to the waterfall outside of the town right here, and it's such a beautiful place to take your family and bring a picnic and just relax and just have a nice time with your family.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend. Okay.
How have you found those tourism sites? Like, as in, there are these people who come, those whites who come from abroad. They come, others die from there. Others are bitten by those snakes and those tough animals. So for you, don't you have that fear of saying that, what if I also face the same?
No. I don't feel like I have much fear in that regard, and I think it's also being mindful. I was telling the story the other day about, we have a big park called Yellowstone National Park, and sometimes the tourists are silly and they come out with their camera and they want to get close to the buffalo, and the buffalo wants to gorge them, right? You can't travel and be ignorant. You have to be mindful. You have to
take responsibility.
Being in the present moment and think about, what am I doing, where am I going, knowing what is there. And there's a saying like, walk lightly, like tread lightly. Okay? So I think these things are there, but if you're cautious and you're paying attention, it's, and even if it's a little scary sometimes to see the elephants. I was driving and they're by the car, but if you don't have a little bit of fear, then you don't see all the beauty also. Okay. Like, fear can paralyze you, it can imprison you.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm from, again, Louisiana. My city is New Orleans, and the famous thing about my state, again, it's deep in the south, is all of these swamps and wilderness in my state. Most of it you need a boat to get to. Most of my state you can't drive to. And we have a lot of alligators, and we have a lot of poisonous snakes, and we have, sometimes we even eat the alligators, to be very honest with you. Yeah. And we have hogs, but not like nice Pumbas here that are kind of ignore you or shy. These ones try to get you. So everywhere you go, we have to be mindful and respectful of nature, like my sister said. We have to be mindful and respectful of where we are and take responsibility for ourselves, But I'm not afraid, other than, if an elephant tries to crush the car that I'm in.
Yeah.
But we're okay, we're fine.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice then. So as we are winding up, what good words can you give to people?
I want to say that as a person from the United States, and if I can speak to people in my own country, you don't understand how much of our culture, how much of our food, how much of our music, our tradition comes from Africa, and we don't give credit and we don't appreciate it. And because of the history, it's very difficult, but you have to face that, and you have to understand, we have to understand and be grateful to all of the things that this continent has given to us that we don't even realize.
That's true.
So in my city, we eat ugali, we call it grits. We eat it, and we don't know where it's from, or the music. All of the good things that we have in my country, I would say 99% of them.
Is there music in your country?
Yeah. Well, my city is the birthplace of jazz music, which comes directly from people who were brought against their will to my city from Africa. And the jazz music came from that experience, And my city is the birthplace of American music, of jazz music.
Okay. Do you have any musician from Uganda?
From Uganda, no. So here we go. I'm learning a lot. We hung out with Bushman's children, and so they're trying to educate me on the culture and the music. But I have so much to learn. See, even I'm ignorant as well, and have more to learn.
Okay. Yes. By the way, I didn't ask David. How did you get to know Bushman? How did you meet him?
So that was the 17 years ago when I came to do, I was in Kenya, and then I came to do the mountain gorilla safari. And I met with him then, and we just, some people you just have a connection with. To me, I love seeing the natural world, and I love to see different things, but when you travel, you meet people. That's the most. I think when you meet people and you eat their food and you break bread together and you laugh. Like we went to the village and we were dancing together and laughing together. Yes, we were dancing and singing and laughing and that's how, so we met all those years ago, and since then he has a family. I have a family now, and it's really lovely.
Not yet. I still don't have a family again. Hi.
We shall give you one.
Yeah. But I also want to say, when you said, I appreciate what you said about the things in the United States, that I think that, that's a more serious topic, right? But we really do need to think about, I thought about it a lot while I was here, how there's a stereotype and a misconception, a purposeful misconception about this continent. And when I'm here, I feel completely safe. I think
happy.
And when I was going to travel, some people said, they're going to go in a big, hire a big tour company, and they're going to pay a lot of money, and they think that it's going to make them safer. But we've been just traveling. I've been driving. We've been driving, and I feel completely safe and peaceful, and people are lovely. So I would say just follow your heart and just enjoy yourself.
Come here.
That's nice.
And come to Uganda. And also come to Uganda, and when I get home, we have a project we're going to start. In the village that we were at, we're going to try to build a well, and we're going to get some solar panels and some water. And we already have people that I haven't talked to, with some volunteers that want to contribute. So we're going to come back and do some community projects.
Oh, that's nice. And
we'll come back and talk to you and share about those. Because we're very excited. Again, we don't want to be just travelers ignorant with our cameras, even though I love to take photographs. We want to be contributing. We want it to be give and take, right?
Wow.
Because I think in the United States they do a lot of taking, right? A lot of take.
Yeah, it's a culture of taking.
Yeah, right? But we also want to give also.
Okay, that's nice then. So as we conclude, you want to bring Bushman?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege, pleasure, and honor to present the incredible, the inimitable, the infamous Bushman. Goodbye, everyone. Until next time.
Okay, so let's go into a commercial break as we come back with Bushman.
buli kyewasaba ngasaagananga balo 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 the one for you kachongamba kulekere tulekere
nazalibwa kujoga sikujogebwa nazalibwa kumenya sikumenyebwa ndi muwanguzi oli atawangulwa
diwe wink on my calendar girl to you I surrender
Kebe meka tamuwa Sema tukina go drink God You want to bamba You wanna tea with the big boys
Wabawundi singira feza neza kumama Oli mama tagange sukali yange
Kanga bukedena Tuli babandana
Chinayu chinyumira whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyanya Mbisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy Chinayu with your TV channels on my phone.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kw'otadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya TV channels ku simu yo.
bagira olufumu olw'abeesenku lwitwe oluli very meaningful olwina amakulu ag'amaanyi olukugamba ngu amata gatahatwa lwagatahasireho atakagatahatahog tagatahata obwagatahata amata agagaata kandi amata oba olukumala gaata tosobola okwongera okagayooramu
Wow, mwebale mburangu abakama baitu. I'm now with Bushman. Let him first introduce himself.
Yeah.
Kotrole bukwongera.
Oh, well, I'm called Ken Bushman, founder and good friend of Bush Memory Safaris. And I'm privileged to be here on Fort TV with my old good friend Davy, all the way from USA, who met 17 years back.
Okay.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So how did you meet with Davy?
Oh, well, it was in one of those amazing tours to the gorillas. That's about 17 years back. I met her through another friend in Kenya. So we went on safari to do the gorillas in Congo.
Okay. I was your first customer.
Yeah, and actually she was my first customer. So that makes a big difference. Thank you, Davy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, all that time that you've been with Davy.
Yeah.
So, experience the
experience, actually, I learned a lot from her, and I'm sure she also learned a lot from me. But first of all, we kept in touch for the last 17 years. But then she didn't have a family. So now I have a family. She also has a family. So it's like we kept in touch. And now she's here.
Okay.
Everything is good. And what is actually most important I find about her is she supports what they call sustainable tourism. Okay. The real ecotourism. Not looking about wildlife alone. So she's doing the people, the culture, the rivers, and the animals.
Okay.
And I should say this trip was really awesome. We saw the big five, leopard, lion, the last day, the buffalo. Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, and also had some time to go to the village. There's a village called Kabaswiswi. She met Mama Kabaswiswi. David, thank you so much for doing a big job. So we had some things to offer for hygiene, soap, toothbrush, and also to provide electricity in terms of solar.
Okay.
Yeah, so at least I'm proud now. She has left a footprint that is eco-friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier about that we don't want to just be traveling and just to take pictures and to buy baskets.
And she bought, but then she's a queen of baskets.
Oh.
Yeah, she bought baskets, about like 8 of them. Wow. Rwanda basket.
But we really want to be, but we want to be. And I also want to say the people back home in the United States, my friends that were so, and even my dentist and the different people were so generous. They knew I was coming and they wanted to share and to contribute and to do such good things, which makes me realize that in the world, sometimes it's hard. You think, people are so, but then you see people you meet people like when you're traveling and you see how good people really are.
For sure.
Okay. What really forces you to say that, let's help people of Uganda? Because there are very many organizations here of those whites from abroad helping these people of ours.
So this might be a little radical, but I'm radical. Yeah. So, when I see people, like I met some people on the airplane, and they said they're coming to do missionary work and they're going to the village and they're going to tell people about, their religion. And I say, what else are you going to do? Oh, we're just going to share, the religion. That to me is not spirituality. Spirituality is breaking bread with people, by sharing other things, by farming with people, by doing things. It's not about me telling you what you should do or shouldn't do. It's about sharing. And so I know that I'm fortunate to come from the United States where I can share resources. And so I just felt like I asked him, what do they need there? And when he said there's no power, I asked my colleagues, some of my therapist friends back home, and they donated almost 12 solar-powered lanterns. And so you just use solar, you can charge your phone, because everybody should have light. Everybody should have running water. Everybody. And so I feel very strongly about that.
Okay.
And so and then also people should be able to brush their teeth and things like that. So my dentist said, okay, and here's the different things. So we really, I just didn't want to come, like I said, empty-handed. It feels very selfish and very selfish. Like I'm going to come and look at your country and take pictures and go home and get baskets. I'm going to leave nothing. That feels too selfish to me.
Okay,
maybe to add on that, Dav is actually an eco-traveler, sustainable tourism, because earlier on I told you she didn't just come to the wildlife also through the people.
Okay.
So there's what we call animal people conflict resolution. So once the people are not happy or living in harmony with the wildlife, finally they end up destroying the environment.
Yeah, that's
so in this particular case, Davi was and her team were back home. They were able to say, okay, if we have solar power, that means they will be reducing on the impact of cutting trees in the forest just to light, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, this is in pipeline. Again, goes back to her. Everybody has a right to have clean drinking water. So, David, thank you so much. So that's something also she wants to do for the people. That way, they will have better health, you know. Yeah, so basically, she's an eco-traveler. You know, thank you.
And my brother also.
Vincenzo, yes.
And Vincenzo also, he made a good point. Like, we want to just not have running water, but we want to do it the right way. Like, and it's also not just to feel good for ourselves, but we really want to. It's not just self-serving, but to have really good running water, but run it also from the solar panel, so maybe a little warm water and different things for people to have because, So we have a whole plan we're coming up with to do that.
Okay, that's nice then. We appreciate for the good work you're doing for us.
Yeah.
So Bushman, I think time is not our good friend.
Exactly.
So
I'll wrap up. David, thanks so much. It's been an honor hosting you in Uganda. And soon you'll have what we call a pet name. Actually, officially you're called Aboki.
Why Aboki?
Like my mother, yes. My mother was called Aboki. And the will be called Amoti. Yeah, he's the king and you are the queen. No, you're the mother. Yeah, so at some level we'll do that, yeah. So thank you so much again. It's always a pleasure to be in Fort TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I may just say real quick, again, I just want to encourage everybody who's from Uganda, and please come and see everything in your own backyard. It's easy to forget where you live, but take the time to really enjoy. We work so hard every day to put food on the table and to get ready in life, and send the kids to school, but take some time to see the world outside. It's so beautiful. The Creator made such a beautiful earth, and we should really see it and honor it and spend time with it.
okay. So what good thing is there in California? They can also come and
They can come and visit me, and I'll make some frijoles negros for you, and some con arroz, and we'll make some food, and we'll.
Oh wow!
Last night we actually had some African, Toro dinner.
When?
Last night at my house. You liked it?
Yeah, it was very, I was telling her earlier that it's very similar to some of my culture.
Yeah.
It felt very like home.
Wow.
Okay. Till we meet again.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, you're welcome. So I think to Amalira show, thank you so much for watching. Everyone out there, Kaniheni Mwega. Kanihire, let's learn loving each other, like how these people are doing. They come, they supply things. You know, there are people here who can't even give someone 1,000, finds you in trouble and just ignores you, and of which it's not good. So mwege kuyambanga na bambi hona hambere muliyoko. For today, I think atugarukira hanu kambagondeze ekire kirungi. Bye bye.
Ciao.